We go to the bottom of the fifth inning here at the North Pole. Mariano Duncan has swung and missed strike one. It is some bizarre scene. The 0-1 is cut out on foul, tipped, I think, in McFarland's glove, and the count 0-2. I mean, pal, if this doesn't say winner, I don't know what else it says.
My feet say winner right now.
It's snowing, and the wind is blowing, and it's frigid, and they're playing baseball. The 0-2, caught on a missed, a slow curve, and Duncan whiffs, and there's one away.
And that was some throw by Joe Girardi to end the top of the fifth inning. That was right on the bag.
Boy, the old trolley wire at about 8 inches off the ground. The pitch to Gerald is swung on, fouled away. Gerald hit a slow curve over third and down the left field line for a double his first time. Les Norman takes over for Tucker in right field. So it's Goodwin in left, Damon in center, and Norman in right. And in the infield from third to first, Joe Randa, Jose Offerman, Bip Roberts, and Bob Hamelin. Left-hander Chris Haney deals, and the pitch is dribbled fouled on the third base line. And the count 0-2.
It has got to be so tough, John, standing in the outfield, infield, waiting for a ball to get hit to you. And it's so cold. And also to see a fly ball, John, a fly ball to the outfield, you're looking up, and you can't flip down the glasses because it's such a gray day. So you've got snowflakes coming down into your eyes. And that will normally make you blink. And if you blink, you could lose sight of the baseball. So not a great day to play baseball.
You know, our old buddy and one of the great ones, Robert Merrill of the Met. The 0-2, up high, 1-2. Came into our booth, and he always sings the anthem great, a cappella, etc. on this cold, wintry day. And he said it was very tough singing with the snow going into his throat. I bet. The 1-2, inside, under the hands of Gerald. Fastball, and the count 2-2. They play Gerald about straight away. Both infield and outfield, just about straight up. The 2-2 is fouled away to a change on the outside. Gerald reached out and got a piece. Tomorrow is the off day, and the weather's supposed to be worse than today. Thursday, it's Jimmy Key for the Yanks, Tim Belcher for the Royals, with the pregame at 12:35 and the play-by-play at 1:05. That's on Thursday afternoon. Here's the 2-2, up high fastball, and Gerald has run the count full, 3-2.
John, I always come to you when there are questions that are just unanswerable, because I know in your infinite wisdom you are going to give me an answer, and it will illuminate things for me, make things more clear.
The 3-2, swung on and line. There's a base hit, left center field. Cutting it off is Damon. Gerald makes the turn and comes on back. So Gerald Williams, as Michael said, facing a lefty, now is 2 for 2. And, you know, it obviously is true. He's a much better hitter against lefties than right-handers. Well, let me ask you, Grasshopper, what is your question?
I have climbed to the top of the mountain and asked you this.
Yes.
Why is Darryl Cousins in shirt sleeves? Why? You can give me this answer. I know you can.
Because
why?
He's a macho man. Macho man. He's got to be a macho. The stretch, I have no idea. The pitch fouled away. Maybe he's trying to get sick leave.
Well, I know that those are new uniform tops, which I think they're going to start marketing. It's a red shirt with the American League logo and numbers on the right sleeve, and maybe they want to market it and highlight it in front of this big crowd. Could be that. That could be the only explanation.
You know, I did read today, and I guess it was the Bergen Record. Here is the stretch and pitch inside, breaking ball down and into Jeter. I really did read that someone was recalling a colder day in Chicago, opening day or so. Maybe it was John Franco, and it was in Chicago, and he said the thing that he remembers most is that Bob Davidson umpired in shirt sleeves on a day that was, let's say, 20 degrees or 25 degrees or so. It'll be a 1-1 to Jeter, 1 on and 1 out. The stretch and pitch, swung on, hit on the ground to short. Offerman fumbles it, throws to second wide. Everyone is safe. The ball is off. You know, I didn't see where the ball was. It stayed right near second under the body of Bip Roberts. We're tied at 1, bottom of the 5th. And the Yankees would like to get a lead and then hope the umpires call the game. And they have every right to call the game. Runner set to go on the 3-2 with one out. There they go. Pitch is swung on and bounced slowly toward first. It's going to be a base hit for Boggs, and Gerald holds up. He was thinking about going. You could not roll the ball any better in no man's land. Hamlin didn't know what to do, and then he went for the ball. There was no one at first. That's why I said it's a base hit. And the Yankees have their opportunity. Bases loaded, one out. Here's Girardi, and the Yankees need but a fly ball.
That's a strange play right there because Haney's wondering, do I pick it up? Do I not? He's stutter stepping his way there. Then he finally falls forward. And then he flipped the ball. He couldn't flip the ball because it rolled away and everybody was safe. The word on Tucker, you might have heard in the background, twisted left knee. That's why he left the game. Now the Royals trainer brings out a towel for Chris Haney because he fell down. He's all wet on the grass.
We're tied at 1, bottom of the 5th. Who knows if this is the last inning? Not saying it is. Bases loaded, one out. Haney deals. Girardi lines a bullet foul on the left field line of the seats. Gerald Williams at third. Derek Jeter at short. And Wade Boggs at first. Kansas City, of course, hoping to get the ground ball to turn 2 and get out of this thing without a run. John Sterling, Michael Kay, and 50,000 brave fans at Yankee Stadium on a horrendous day for baseball. Just about anything else. The 0-1. Caught on a miss. There's the great change. And Girardi way out in front. The count 0-2.
Girardi wipes the bat off under his left armpit. Then knocks the dirt out of his spikes. Just an awful day. And that was a good pitch by Chris Haney.
So Haney way ahead on the count 0-2. The strikeout would help him a lot as well. Here's the 0-2. Inside. Strike 3 called. Inside corner. Girardi didn't like it, and he has to accept it. And Haney hits the inside corner with a good fastball. So two-way, and here's Paul O'Neill.
You know, John mentioned he has to accept it. We looked at the replay. It was really inside. And the reason he has to accept it, when you're a catcher and you're up there offensively, if you start to moan at the umpire, well, then you're going to hurt your pitcher in getting calls, too. So he just shook his head and he walked to the plate or walked back to the dugout. If you start barking at the umpire, you might pay for it on the other end.
It's snowing much harder. The wind blowing. Bases loaded. 2 out. Pitch. Breaking ball. Outside 1-0. O'Neill has flied to left twice against Haney. They play O'Neill a step toward left. At least the center fielder Damon does. The right fielder Norman is way off the right field line. He's toward right center. Pitch is low inside 2-0. And if O'Neill is ever going to see a good pitch to swing at, it's coming up. Bases loaded. You know he can't afford to fall behind 3-0. O'Neill takes a moment out of the batter's box to collect his thoughts. He's on his own. He's got hit privilege.
His best bet right now against Haney obviously would be to serve the ball to left field because Haney's going to want to keep the ball away from Paul O'Neill.
Here's the 2-0. It's on the inside corner of the knees for a strike, and the count 2-1.
Now that's surprising because I thought he'd go outside. I think O'Neill did as well. That's why he took that pitch on the inside part of the plate. Now he's just got to have plate coverage right here, John, on a 2-1.
One thing, Mike, he certainly made a good pitch. He didn't throw the ball over the middle. That was a dandy pitch inside. The 2-1. Swung on and looped in the air. Base hit. Center field. 1 run is in. Jeter scores. 2 runs in. On to third goes Boggs. It's a 2-run single for Paul O'Neill. And the Yankees take a 3-1 lead.
Not a bad pitch by Haney. Right in on the fist of Paul O'Neill. O'Neill's strong, though, and he fisted the ball into center field. Obviously, with 2 outs, the runners go. They don't even have to worry about it dropping in. They scored easily, and Boggs took a chance and headed to third. I thought that Damon had a pretty good shot, but Damon elected to throw the ball into second base, allowing Boggs to go to third easily.
O'Neill just made enough contact. He's a big, strong guy, and he hit kind of a looping liner, not hard hit, a looping liner over second and past the dive of Roberts to center field. So the Yankees lead by 2, 3-1. Here's Leyritz, and he takes a fastball high outside, 1-0. A single by Gerald Williams with 1 out. Jeter reached on the error by Offerman. Boggs, an infield single to load him up, and after Girardi struck out, O'Neill singled in 2. Runners first and third. Pitch inside slider, and the count 2-0. An amazing crowd at the stadium. You look around, you see nothing but people on a day for the Iditarod. The 2-0. Swung on, bounced, base hit up the middle, center field. Boggs scores. O'Neill holds at second. It's a ribby single for Leyritz, and the Yankees have scored 3 times. They take a 4-1 lead in the bottom of the 5th.
And these are significant because of John saying it's the bottom of the 5th inning. With this weather, you just don't know how long this game is going to go. So now they've got that 4-1 cushion. Pettit's been pitching very, very well, and if the umpires decide to take out the tarp, the Yankees could sit back and wait. If the game is called, fine. If not, they'll go into their bullpen. And this is a very big inning for them to have.
Well, Mike, now that you mention it, this is now an official game. The Yankees don't have to complete the inning. They lead. They're the home team in the bottom of the 5th. Here's Tino Martinez, and he takes a pitch low, 1-0.
I don't know, John. I think they might have to complete this inning.
No, I don't think so. I really would stand on that, and I'm not a rule book guy, but they already had the lead. It wouldn't serve any purpose to have to complete the inning. I don't think so. The 1-0 is low, and if that's the case, I really do believe that, but if that's the case, then Tino ought to swing at 3 straight pitches.
Because I know if they had the lead coming in, they wouldn't have to complete the inning, but since they scored the runs in this inning, I think they would have to complete it to make it count.
Well, we're going to go
I'll go check Red Foley.
Absolutely. Let's go to the old redhead. It'll be a 2-0 to Tino. Martinez has grounded twice to second. There's the 2-0. Swung on and line to center field. Damon back. He's there to make the catch, and that'll do it. For the Yankees, they get 3 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and 2 left. Well, it's an official game now, and at the end of 5 innings of play, the score, the Yanks 4 and Kansas City 1.
My yes.
We're back, and we now have the broadcast team complete. John Sterling, Michael Kay, Rudy Giuliani, Andrew Giuliani. We've got the whole family here. Well, anyway, it's not only is it nice to see you. I haven't seen you for a while, but I thank you and all the other people for coming out on this awful day.
It's wonderful to be here for the end of the football season.
Boy, I mean, as I said, this day is perfect with the beginning of the Iditarod, but I don't know about baseball.
Mr. Mayor, this would be a great day to have a retractable dome.
I have about 50 people tell me that there. Why don't you put a dome on this place?
What a sly way to get in, you old.
Well, let's ask those questions.
Yes.
What's the deal about the West Side site? Have you spoken to George Steinbrenner about it? Where do we stand?
We've spoken somewhat about it. There's still a lot of studying to do and a lot of pros and cons.
You'd also have to build some roads. I know Mike and I would like that. Sidney Zion said it could bring the Jazz age back to the Great White Way. Jose Offerman takes a strike. And I'm not going to get into the building of the...
The biggest advantage that it has is public transportation. There are 28 Long Island Railroad lines right underneath that site, and the PATH train.
The 1-0 to Offerman is inside. The weather is getting worse. The snow is coming down harder, and the wind is blowing harder. The Yankees have a 4-1 lead here in the top of the 6th.
About time to call this game, I think. The conditions are terrible out there.
I really do think that they may give Kansas City another shot at it. And after this inning, they might call it. But we have the mayor, Rudy Giuliani, who comes in our booth very often during the year. The 2-0 is a breaking ball strike, backdoor breaking ball. And Mayor Giuliani also is a baseball fan. I mean, old-time baseball fan. You look at Andy Pettitte. What a great young pitcher, huh?
Great performance on a day like today.
He deals outside in the count 3-1.
And I like the way Tino Martinez handled that play at first base, and I like the way Girardi threw down to second. They defensively look great.
The 3-1 is... That was a 2-1, I guess, and the pitch is inside in the count 3-1.
Look at that. The snow is coming down like crazy.
The 3-1 is hit on the ground to the right side. Duncan Fields goes to Pettit, covering in time, one away. Scored 4-1. You know, Arizona is building a retractable dome with grass, and they ought to study that ballpark. But, you know, you and the rest of New York have done a great job in revitalizing the West Side. It's much better than it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and I think it could be fabulous for New York.
The Chelsea Piers are a big success story. There's going to be a new heliport there. We're expanding the West Side Highway. A lot of things are happening on the West Side.
Bip Roberts is the hitter, and he takes outside, and you've gotten a lot of compliments. I really do mean this. Reading, I just read the newspapers and such, watch TV and listen to the radio. The pitch is in for a strike. Crime is way down in New York, and that's the biggest fear of all citizens about crime, and you're doing a great job of that.
Including right here. This precinct led a lot of the city in crime reduction.
Pitch is low outside of Roberts, and the count 2-1, Mike.
Mr. Mayor, we've read that whatever the new stadium costs, or whether it's built here or this one's refurbished.
Pitch to Roberts. Cut on, hit on the ground up the middle and through to center field, a base hit. Bernie Williams fields, bare hands, and fires in, and Roberts holds with a one-out single, top of the sixth.
Well, we've read that it won't cost the taxpayers any money. How do you propose that gets done?
There's a difference between here and the West Side. The West Side has the possibility of costing very little money to the taxpayers because it's so valuable, because you could finance it. That's among the most valuable real estate in the world in Manhattan. So you put a stadium there, the projected income from it is so great that you can finance it. You'll get an enormous amount of investment in it. You'd get investment in the Bronx, but not at the same level. So it actually would cost the taxpayers more to build here than on the west side of Manhattan.
Tom Goodwin takes a pitch low, and can you imagine how many more monies would be pumped in shops, restaurants, hotels, etc., of people staying in the city who go to work or people coming into the city? As I mentioned, of course, any New Yorker knows this, you would need a lot of roads and new roads. The 1-0 is a strike, and the count 1-1.
Let's talk about some of the negatives that people perceive might happen with this site. They said it would be a monumental traffic jam, which I disagree with. It's not a monumental traffic jam for Knick games, and it's only 20,000 more people.
It certainly would have traffic issues, but it has the most public transportation of any site that anyone has really thought about.
There's the 1-1. The breaking ball is inside.
28 Long Island Railroad tracks right underneath. You have the PATH train coming from New Jersey that goes right underneath. And you're just a few blocks from the 8th Avenue and the 7th Avenue. So you've got more public transportation than just about any site in the city.
Now Pettit comes set. 1 on, 1 out, top of the sixth. It'll be a 2-1, and first Pettit goes over to first base to chase Roberts back.
Another one.
The only place as accessible, believe it or not, is Flushing Meadow, where the Mets are, where you've got rail, Long Island Railroad, and of course highway transportation.
Another one that we hear is, why should you build a stadium for the Yankees when the school system needs money? Your answer to that would be?
Because a city needs to expand. A city needs the kind of commerce that the Yankees, the Mets. If we hadn't lost the 4 teams that we lost, the city would be in a lot better shape. And we don't want to make the same mistake over and over again.
Now Pettit is set. Here's the 2-1. Hit on the ground, double play ball to second. Duncan to short, 1 on to first. It's not a double play. The throw back was wide. And Goodwin just escaped the tag by Tino Martinez. Goodwin can flat out fly even in this muck and mire. Well, you know,
we have a lot of the politicians of the city that continually attack the Yankees and the sports teams.
I understand why.
Yeah, and it's really a shame. That's how we lost.
Right.
The Dodgers, the 2 Giant teams, and the Jet teams.
You don't have to convince us. We fully believe in it. And I just believe that the West Side, Times Square, the Garden, it could become the 1920s all over again. You'd have people out late night in New York, and the monies that would come in would be phenomenal. Also, this would be year-round, a retractable dome. The pitch to Vitiello is up high because you'd get the Super Bowl, you get the Jets, you'd get the Final Four, you get about anything you want.
And ultimately, it means more jobs for the kids graduating from school rather than less jobs, which is unfortunately what I inherited.
And you're not taking money away from schools to build the stadium.
No, you would do this through financing, and you'd have a lot more opportunities for young people rather than contracting opportunities, which is the situation we walked into.
4-1 Yankees, top of the sixth, 2 outs. Goodwin leads off first. The pitch to Vitiello is way up high, and the count 2-0. Vitiello, a big, strong right-hand hitter. Well, I'm sorry that it becomes, like everything else, a political football, and I really do understand that you are, quote-unquote, a Republican, and so Democrats are zinging you. They ought to think about what's best for New York. And if they had that kind of a structure in New York, this is where it belongs, in New York City, the biggest and best city in the world. It should have something like that. And I think it would benefit everybody. That's my opinion. And I'm entitled to it. I'm a taxpayer.
In 1955, if New York City had agreed to build a ball field for the Dodgers, they might still be in New York.
No, not might. They would be.
And
we've read a book on that.
Eventually, New York City had to build a ball field anyway.
Right.
But for the Mets. So they didn't save any money. It cost them money, and we lost the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Mr. Mayor, when do you want a decision from the Yankees?
Next couple of months, next 3-4 months is the time we really have to negotiate it, discuss it. And there are a lot of financing issues that have to be worked out.
It'll be a 2-0. Pettit to the plate. Cut on and chopped at a hop to short. Jeter goes to second for the force. And that'll do it. We thank His Honor, Mayor Rudy
Good luck
Giuliani.
this season. I think this could be a really great season for us.
We thank you, sir.
Good luck.
Very
Thanks
much.
a lot.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you here soon. No runs on one hit and one left. And now at the end of 5.5, it's 4-1 Yanks.
Center fielder, Bernie Williams.
Here's Bernie Williams to lead it off. 1st and 10 on the 30. Left-hander Chris Haney deals. Bernie takes a strike. If you're listening to the broadcast, don't have access to the video of the game, the pitch outside, trust me, on your news tonight, they will show this as a picture of, and Major League Baseball playing in the snow again. It is frightful at Yankee Stadium. Yanks have a 4-1 lead, bottom of the 6th. The 1-1 way outside. Bernie has hit a sac fly to center and grounded to third. 1-5-2 for KC. 4-6-0 for the Yanks. Now Haney will deal 2-1. Hit in the air to deep left center. Damon over. He's there. Plenty of room in deep left center. Johnny makes the catch. And there's one away. A rookie named Terry Clark is warming up in the Kansas City bullpen. Clark is a right-hander. Kansas City does not have a bad bullpen. In fact, it might be the strength of the team. They have a very good closer in Jeff Montgomery. The pitch is hit on the ground up the middle by Duncan. The throw is not in time. The throw pulled Hamlin off the bag. It was a tough play for Bip Roberts, the grounder up the middle towards second. Roberts fielded, but he threw high and inside, and Hamlin had to come off the bag to catch the throw. So that's the second infield error. Offerman at short and Roberts at second. Now, both do make a lot of errors. Roberts' best position may be left field. And I don't know if they found a spot for Offerman yet. So they both made an error today, although you can excuse it today because the conditions are terrible. Mariano is on at first. Here is Gerald Williams. He is 2 for 2, and Gerald ignited the rally last inning. The pitch is line to right field. Back is Norman, and straightaway right. He makes the catch, and back to first comes Duncan. I mentioned about the KC bullpen. If they can get the lead with Jeff Montgomery and good setup men like right-hander Hippolito Pichardo and left-hander Mike Magnante, that would be a strength of the team. 2-8, here's Derek Jeter. Jeter has walked, and he reached on Offerman's error. That opened the gates last inning in a tie game. With one out, Gerald had a base hit. Jeter reached on an error. Boggs scratched an infield single, and with 2 outs, O'Neill singled 2 in, and Leyritz singled home the 4th run, and the Yankees have a 4-1 lead. The pitch to Jeter. Swung on line. There's a base hit right field. On to second. Holding is Duncan. So Jeter follows the error with a base hit, and here is Wade Boggs, and the Yankees try to cash in on another Kansas City error. Boggs has fly to center, popped to first, and then dribbled a single into no man's land wide of first. And that helped build the 3-run rally last inning. The Yanks with a 4-1 lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The pitch to Boggs outside.
unless it becomes a blinding snowstorm where you couldn't see, the snow hasn't really changed that much from the beginning of the game, and they will complete this game.
The 1-0. There is a strike, and the count 1-1. 2 on, 2 out. Bottom of the 6th, 4-1 Yanks.
John, I checked out that thing we were talking about before the mayor came on. It would have been a complete game even if the third out had not been made. As long as the Yankees scored the runs, it was complete. Red Foley said it was.
The pitch to Boggs is inside. Pitch is a strike. It'll be a 2-2 to Boggs. Pitch is hit on the ground to short. Offerman fields, throws to second just in time, and that'll end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left. At the end of 6 innings of play at the stadium on opening day, the Yankees 4 and Kansas City 1.
Class, pass your test forward.
See what happens when kids go to school with the flu? They can easily pass their germs to everyone in the classroom. To keep them healthy, make sure kids get the seasonal flu vaccine right now and novel H1N1 vaccine when it's available. If they're sick, keep them home and teach them to wash their hands often or use hand sanitizer to reduce the spread of germs. A message from your state and local health departments to know what to do about the flu.
This is Sergeant Geyser from Balad, Iraq, wishing my friends and family in Connecticut a happy holidays and a happy new year.
Hi, I'm Second Lieutenant Melissa Goodwin. I'm currently stationed in Southwest Asia. I want to send a greeting to my family in Washington, New Jersey, and I'd like to say happy holidays and I love you very much.
Bob Hamlin leads off the 7th, and Pettit swung on, hit up the middle. There's a base hit center field. So the Husky first baseman, left-hand hitter Hamlin, smacks a single to center. Casey has a good start to their 7th. And the Yankees with a 4-1 lead. And here with the play-by-play is Michael Kay.
That might have gotten Andy Pettit on the backside as it went back through the box. Joe Girardi goes out and talks with Pettit. Anyway, it is a hit for Bob Hamlin. John keeps saying the Husky Bob Hamlin. It's not bad being Husky today. Here comes Mel Stottlemyre. He'll go out and talk with Pettit. And there's some stirring in the Yankee bullpen. Well, Stottlemyre goes back to the dugout. McFarland's at the plate, and the pitch swung on and popped up foul behind the plate. 0-1. The right-hander Jeff Nelson is warming in the Yankee bullpen. Top of the 7th inning. Home opener on ice for the Yankees. KC at the bat. 4-1 Yankee lead. Now Pettit turns around and asks Jeter who gets the throw and if the ground ball is back to the mound, and Jeter said, I will. Here's the pitch to McFarland. The 0-1 is inside, 1-1. One of the writers just came in and told us they went out to do some interviews in the stands, and you cannot believe how cold it is in the stands. I think it's 38 degrees right now, but with the wind chill, it's probably below freezing. Feels like it's below freezing. The 1-1 is the chain swung on a miss. 1-2. Most of the crowd, not most of the crowd, a good deal of the crowd in the lower deck has either left or relocated underneath one of the overhangs. It is very, very cold. Winter coats are being worn. The snow has been steady throughout the game, but they started the game and they seem intent on finishing it. The 1-2 swung on a miss on the change, and McFarland way out in front. He goes down on strikes. That'll bring up Johnny Damon. McFarland now 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Damon 1 for 1 with a run scored. He walked in the 2nd, had an infield single, a deep short in the 5th, and came around to score. And now hitting .409 on the season. Damon is 9 for 22. And Pettit goes back, and they almost got Hamlin, and the first base coach is going nuts, saying that was a balk. Mitchell Page was screaming and saying that was a balk, and now he gets thrown out of the game. Tim Welke threw Mitchell Page out of the game. Hamlin had maybe a 3-foot lead, about a 3-foot lead, and almost was picked off. And that's why Page was saying that that was a balk. Now Page is going back and getting some more from Welke, as if to say, you're going to throw me out, you'll hear a little bit more. And now he walks slowly to the Royals dugout, and he will be serenaded by this crowd. Page, the former Oakland A outfielder, now will jog back to the dugout, and he has been tossed from the game. And the former Royals catcher, former Yankee as well, Jamie Quirk, will go out and coach first. Tim Welke wanted none of it, and believe me, the umpires are cold, the players are cold, the fans are cold, and the last thing they need is to be argued with at this point. We talked about this in the Cleveland game. Pettit has established his move. They're not going to start calling a balk on him now. Hamilton was almost picked off, and he was barely off the bag. That's how good Pettit's move is. He lulls you to sleep thinking he's going to the plate, and then boom, the throw is in the first baseman's glove. The pitch to Damon. Curveball low, scooped out of the dirt by Joe Girardi. Girardi catching Pettit, that's unusual because Leyritz caught him in the first game. That was the second game in Cleveland, and he caught them for the majority of last year as well. The pitch. Curveball outside. 2-0. Joe Torre said he wanted to stay away from that. He said, I don't believe in personal catchers, thank you. And if I want to catch Leyritz and Pettit happens to be pitching, that's fine. The 2-0 to Damon. Fastball outside, 3-0. So that's why Girardi behind the plate, and Girardi has made two strong throws to second base to catch runners trying to steal. The 3-0. Outside, he walked him on 4 pitches. So runners on first and second now with 1 out. That'll bring up Joe Randa. And remember, Jeff Nelson is warming in the bullpen. Randa so far today has 2 base hits against Andy Pettit, a single to left in the 3rd and a single to right in the 5th. Now Girardi will go out and talk with Pettit, as will Boggs. Stottlemyre was just on the phone. Maybe Nelson's not quite ready as of yet. This could be a stall tactic. Boggs is behind the mound, on the backside of the mound, taking some mud out of his spikes. And Girardi is standing atop the mound talking with Pettit, who's blowing on his hand. Now Bob Wickman is up in the Yankee bullpen, throwing alongside a left-hander. Obviously the left-hander is Steve Howe. Now here comes Joe Torre making his first appearance, a change of pitcher. The infielders will come into the mound, but I believe this is the second trip to the mound because Mel Stottlemyre made the first. And I don't think Joe Torre thought it was the second, because now he's going out and talking with Darryl Cousins as if to say, well, do I have to take him out? Because Cousins signaled out to the bullpen. And then now Joe Torre, I think I read his lips and he said, good point. Anyway, Andy Pettit will leave the mound. He'll get a huge ovation from the sellout crowd. And they will bring on a relief pitcher. This is New York Yankees baseball.
On the next This Week in Football, presented by Geico, the New York teams are gearing up for big divisional matchups. We'll break down the game plans for both the Jets and Giants. Plus, the playoff picture is shaping up, and our crew will examine which teams are in line for a postseason bid.
Catch an all-new This Week in Football, Tuesday at 6:30, only on Yes. This program brought to you in part by eHarmony.com. Are you ready to fall in love?
I didn't want anyone to know that I was secretly having someone else find someone for me. When you own your own business, there's no time to go out, so I went on eHarmony to let them find Mr. Right for me.
Review all your matches for free. eHarmony.com.
It's time for holiday bargain hunting,
which requires a razor-sharp eye and blazing speed.
Especially if you're shopping for a Chevy.
Can we speed this up?
Not only do they come with the best deals of the year, they come with the best coverage in America.
You snooze, you lose. Hey, I'll take it.
Let the Chevy Red Tag event begin.
Now during the Chevy Red Tag event, get 0% APR for 72 months on most 09 models. See red and save green now at your local Chevy dealer.
Louisville Slugger has been making bats since 1884 and is the official bat of Major League Baseball and is now commemorating the New York Yankees World Series Championship with this just-released Louisville Slugger New York Yankees World Series Champions full-size bat. Each full-size bat measures 34 inches and is numbered and limited to only 10,000 bats. You can see this beautiful historic bat at BigTimeBats.com. You can purchase this full-size historic bat for $129.95 plus shipping by calling BigTimeBats.com at 1-866-280-BATS.
Diamonds, half carat to 2 carat, are $299 to $19.90. Thousands of diamonds, guaranteed the lowest price. The latest designer styles, guaranteed to appraise for double, set while you watch. Plus no interest for 6 months. By Factory Direct, the jewelry factory in Hackensack.
The Royals have runners on first and second with 1 out.
In this unbelievable, brutal winter weather, look at Bob Wickman. He comes out with bare arms.
I don't get it. And it is freezing cold here at the stadium.
This is the first time today, Mike, that it actually, this is the silliest thing I'm going to say, but it actually is snowing. You know, there were snow flurries, and the snow continued to come down. Now this is snow. This is, if you looked out the window, you'd say, hey, kids, they're going to call off school because it's snowing. Bases loaded and 1 out, and one thing about Nunnally, he is a left-hand hitter with home run power. He can reach the seats, and if he does, he'll give Kansas City the lead.
The pitch to Nunnally. Swung on a miss. Good, big swing, and he swings over the top of a sinker, 0-1. Hamlin's at third, and Johnny Damon at second, and Keith Lockhart is at first. Yankees lead 4-1. We're in the top of the 7th, the home opener at the stadium. The snow is starting to fall, and on Bob Wickman's cap, white little specks. The 0-1, swung on a miss. 0-2, another good sinker. And John Sterling goes to the scarf. Against the dark blue Yankee cap, it looks like it's speckled with powder, but it is snow on Bob Wickman's cap. The 0-2 just missed a little bit low and inside, 1-2. Good 1-0-2 pitch. Bases loaded with Royals. This could be the game right here. Yankees lead 4-1. Yankees trying to even their record at 3-3. Wickman sets at the chest. The 1-2. Missed outside, 2-2. This is the pitch he wants to make it work on. 1-6-3 for the Royals. 4-7-0 for the Yankees. They look over at third base coach Tim Foley to get the sign. No sign right here. The 2-2. Swung on him, blooped out into center field. Coming on, Bernie Williams, still coming on. He will not make the play. 1 run scores. Damon rounds third. He will score. And going into third is Keith Lockhart. And the Yankees now have a 4-3 lead. A 2-run pinch hit single for John Nunnally. Not a bad pitch by Wickman. Kind of fisted him. But Nunnally, a pretty strong guy, fisted it into left center field, and Bernie had no chance.
The shortstop.
So now the tying run is at third in the person of Keith Lockhart.
That was a tailing fastball. It tailed away, and it went off the very end of the bat of Nunnally, and he blooped it into shallow left center. Wickman leaves. Joe Torre comes out. So Nunnally is at 4-3, but there's first and third and 1 man out.
I always dreamed of retiring and cruising the open road. Then, someone stole my identity.
What Chuck needed was ProtectMyID.com from Experian, where you get alerts to important information, a fraud resolution agent, plus a $1 million product guarantee.
Don't let identity theft wreck your plans.
Call now or log on to ProtectMyID.com and try it free. Offer applies with enrollment in ProtectMyID.com.
The day you give someone a Lexus is just the first of many memories you'll make with it. The Lexus December to Remember sales event with some of the best values of the year. Lease the 2010 RX 350 for $469 a month for 36 months with $36.44 due at signing. Now through January 4th.
My new computer started out fast, really fast, but now it's only kind of fast.
Hold on, let me check my email. It's not loading. Let me try this again. If your computer doesn't run like it's supposed to, if your internet connection is unreliable, even on a so-called fast connection, even if your brand new computer isn't as fast as it ought to be, you might not have any real problem at all. FinallyFast.com free performance test will immediately diagnose any hidden problems and show you how to get more speed on any computer. Plus, FinallyFast.com provides you the software you need to get your computer up to peak performance by getting rid of all the nasty junk files, spyware, adware, and registry errors that make even the best computers freeze and crash. Find out why Ascentive has been featured in Newsweek, Forbes, and the Wall Street Journal. You could save hundreds, even thousands of dollars by taking the Finally Fast performance test first.
I'm booted up. What's that URL I should look at? FinallyFast.com. Hey, my computer's fast. Finally. FinallyFast.com.
Here's Patrick Lennon. He will pinch hit for Jose Offerman, and he will face Steve Howe.
And he is a big, strong right-hand hitter. Yankees hoping to get the ground ball. A fly ball will tie the game with first and third.
The pitch to Lennon. Fastball is high, 1-0. Strangely, when Howe was introduced, he really got booed by the crowd. I don't know how he takes it, because he gets booed on the road and he gets booed at home. But he handles it. Lockhart's at third. Nunnally is at first. 4-3 Yankee lead, top of the seventh. Runners on the corners, one out. The 1-0. Fastball is high, 2-0. Bip Roberts on deck. It is really, really snowing hard. The lights are on at the stadium, and it's a brisk wind blowing from left to right. The 2-0. Swung on a miss. Good fastball outside part of the plate, 2-1. Lennon has 3 hits and 9 at bats so far this year with 1 run batted in. .3-7-3 for the Royals, 4-7-0 for the Yankees. Howe steps off the rubber and fakes a throw to first, chasing Nunnally back. Howe has the foot on the third base side of the rubber. Gets the sign, sets at the belt, deals the 2-1. Strike on the outside corner, backdoor breaking ball, 2-2.
You know, Mike, I really think Howe has to throw that more often and even throw his hard slider a little bit. I mean, he's become somewhat predictable throwing hard. Of course, that's not his problem. His problem is when he's hard in the middle of the plate. But I like that pitch very much for Howe. It certainly is a different look.
Howe working the gum furiously, gets the sign, sets at the belt, the 2-2. Swung on a miss. He struck him out. A high fastball. Lennon goes down for the second out of the inning.
And that's what makes the fastball, and he's been clocked in the 90s this year, look even faster. He had thrown the backdoor breaking ball. There he cut loose with a heater up, and he still throws very hard. So there's the big second out. Now a run cannot score on an out. And Bip Roberts, pretty good line drive singles hitter, is the Royals hope to knock in the tying run.
They are allowing the pitchers to blow on their hand to keep warm on the mound. Roberts 1 for 3. Contact hitter, the pitch. Swung on and popped up foul, first base side out of play into the first row of the upper deck. Roberts hitting .308 so far in the early season. 5 runs batted in. A big run 90 feet away, the tying run for the Royals. Howe calls time now, and he will use the tongue depressor and take some of the mud out of his spikes. What happens is the spikes get caked up with the mud, and therefore they don't serve their purpose of digging into the mound, and you could slip. So you want to get those spikes cleaned out so they can serve their purpose. 4-3 Yankees lead here in the home opener. Howe gets the sign from Girardi. And the 0-1. Curveball a little bit high, a little bit outside, 1-1.
You know, you mentioned how Howe got booed when he came in because he lost the last game in Texas for the Yanks. And if he gets Roberts, you'll hear him cheered when he leaves the mound.
I'd love to get Roberts. The 1-1. Swung on and fouled off the foot of Roberts. He's now ahead in the count. 1-2 is Howe.
And there was another breaking ball down and in, and Roberts got just a piece and fouled off. Now the crowd is behind Howe, cheering for the third strike of the inning. In fact, they get to their feet. Of course, that helps the circulation as well. Huh?
What fans? Howe looking in for the sign. Smoke coming out of his mouth. He sets at the belt. The 1-2. Low blocked beautifully by Girardi. It rolled slightly to the right. He tossed away the mask, but he held Lockhart at third and Nunnally at first. Looked like a slider he tried to get too much on top of, and it was a 58-foot variety. So now the count is even at 2-2. A big pitch for Howe. On deck, Tom Goodwin. The crowd again getting into it. Runners lead off the corners, 2 outs. The 2-2, the runner goes, swung on, hit sharply to Boggs. He fields, fires across the diamond. He pulls Martinez off the bag. Martinez tags Roberts, and that'll do it for the Royals. They scored 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors and 2 left at the end of 6.5. For your own health, get up and stretch. The Yankees lead 4-3.
Can the Nets dethrone the Kings in another Wild West Coast showdown? Tonight, CTR looks to be the MVP when these two teams go head-to-head in the California capital.
What a spectacular move!
Nets, Kings. Coverage starts tonight at 9:30.
Only on Yes.
Did you ever try to take a shower, but you wound up taking a bath? Do you have a sink that fills when it's supposed to empty? And who wants to wait for an expensive plumber?
Hi, Anthony Sullivan here for the Turbo Snake. The fastest, easiest way to unclog any drain in your bathroom, guaranteed. Simply slide the Turbo Snake down the drain, then just give it a twirl, and the Turbo Snake grabs the clog and frees the drain. It's that easy. You don't even need to remove the stopper. The specially designed head slides right into the drain to reach the clog, removing it with ease. Here's how it works. The Turbo Snake easily glides down deep into the drain. Then give it a twirl, and the specially designed hooks grab onto the hair and gunk to remove the clog with ease. Plungers are messy and don't work on hair clogs. And liquid drain cleaners are toxic and flow right past the clog. But Turbo Snake grabs hair clogs like magic and allows your sink to drain every time.
I was amazed at how quick and easy it was to grab the stubborn hair clog with the Turbo Snake and remove it. It was really simple, and it worked.
Long hair, short hair, blonde hair or dark hair, your hair or my hair, the Turbo Snake gets it all. So stop living with slow-moving drains and stop waiting for an expensive plumber to fix the problem. Call now and get 2 Turbo Snakes, large for showers and tubs, and small for sinks for just $10. As a bonus, we'll send you a set of peel and stick hooks to hang your Turbo Snakes neatly in a cabinet. But wait, call now and we'll double the offer. Just pay separate processing and handling. That means you get 4 Turbo Snakes, 2 large for showers and tubs, and 2 small for sinks, and the peel and stick hooks, an unstoppable value, all for just $10. So stop the clogs and get your flow to go once and for all with the Turbo Snake. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-781-9603 to order the Turbo Snake for $10 and we'll double the offer. Just pay processing and handling. Call 1-800-781-9603 or visit turbosnake.com. That's 1-800-781-9603. Call now.
Well, Julio Valera, hard-throwing right-hander, also Husky, will face Mariano Duncan. Duncan has reached twice on errors, struck out once, so he's 0 for 3. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Yankees up 5-3, bottom of the 7th. The pitch to Duncan. Low and away, 1-0. Eddie Layton plays. The weather outside is frightening.
Frightful.
And frightening.
And my dear, it's so delightful.
Valera fires over to first. They almost get Bernie Williams. I mean, just missed. Valera, a mustachioed right-hander. It's amazing. There might still be 30,000 people in this ballpark. Those are fans, or they're just too frozen to leave. I'd like to have the hot chocolate concession. I really would. What money you'd make today. Valera fires over and Bernie back. People are bundled up. They have their hoods on, winter coats, scarves, gloves.
The funny thing is, when we got here today very early, it was not snowing. The snow didn't begin at 12:30, but boy, it's been terrible since.
The 1-0, fastball low and inside, 2-0.
The last time I checked, the temperature was 38. But it's obviously not baseball weather.
This would be tough to sit in if you're a New York Giant fan. If there was a football game going on, you'd still feel as if you were a little too cold. Now Duncan steps out of the box. I think a snowflake got in his eye. That's exactly what happened. The snow is swirling because of the wind, and the snowflakes are fairly large. Think you have a future in weather, John?
Mr. K.
There's a Mr. G. It could be Mr. K. Valera gets the sign. He sets at the letters. The 2-0 swung on and fouled back. 2-1. You know, a couple of new additions to the outside of the stadium. I don't know if you saw it, John. The entranceways, they have the same beautiful team pictures that they had at Legends Field. And they have some flags up commemorating each of the great Yankees. Mickey Mantle and Babe Ruth are right by the press entrance, and that rims the stadium. And they did a real nice job beautifying the outside of Yankee Stadium. Further beautifying.
I like the New York logo on the field. I think that's terrific. That's such a great logo anyway.
The runner goes. The 2-1 is swung on and fouled off down the third base line. 2-2. One other addition to the inside of the stadium, John. I don't know if you noticed. There have always been awnings over where the pitchers sit in the bullpen. And now on the front of the awnings, it has the team name. So it says New York Yankees, the one that's closer to center field. And one to the left of Monument Park, it says Kansas City Royals, which I guess gives the grounds crew more work every series. They have to put a new name up there. But that's a nice touch. Now McFarland calls time, maybe a snowflake in the eye.
A phenomenon that has always escaped me. You see it at football games. Look in the upper deck, first base side, and you see three nincompoops who have taken off their shirts and jackets and are standing bare-chested. Three of them.
They're wearing liquor coats. The fire to first is Bernie Williams is back. Those are the warmest coats I guess you could have. You'll feel it later, though.
That has missed me. That's past me. I haven't.
You haven't taken your shirt off at the Opera?
No, I had not.
The 2-2 in the dirt, blocked by McFarland. Bernie was going, so that's a stolen base.
Well, the thing is, I've never found the joy in that. I don't. I guess I don't quite understand that.
You take your shirt off now. See how it feels.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't knock it unless you.
I've tried it. Absolutely, that's a very good point. Well, I've done it, taking the shirt off, just wearing the bathing trunks, around the pool in Fort Lauderdale. But
second and third, 2 outs. The 3-2 swung on and foul tipped in front of the plate. So Duncan stays alive. McFarland's having a tough time back there. Brian brings up a good point. Looks like the Monument Park area has been widened. It looks like it's further along into the Yankee bullpen area. The 3-2 swung on and fouled off, so Duncan stays alive.
You know what is amazing about these athletes, and they really are good athletes, is that they're able to do the different things, the ground balls, double plays, base hits, breaking balls, changeups, and all in this weather. I mean, look at this, Mike. If you saw this tableau and didn't see the baseball players, you'd say, yeah, there's a scene out of this winter. In fact, it was every day every day this winter, as I recall.
Again, Duncan calls time, and it's obvious what's happening. The snowflakes are blowing in his eyes, so either they have to get on a pair of sunglasses, which would be ridiculous in this weather, or maybe they should really call the game at this point. The snow is blowing from right to left, right into the eyes of a right-handed batter. The 3-2 swung on and fouled away, upper deck on the right side. Amazingly, though, John, the snow is not sticking anywhere.
No, that's, I guess, if there is a good thing, I guess. You know, the double that was hit by one of the Yankees, and I can't think of who.
Girardi?
Girardi.
Right.
Yes. There you did see, though, the outfield.
The 3-2 swung on line drive, base hit to right field. Leyrit scores. Here comes Bernie. Here's the throw. There'll be no play. Bernie scores standing up. A 2-run single for Mariano Duncan, and the Yankees lead 7-3.
Duncan really stay on that. And he was having trouble with the snow blowing in his eyes. He really stayed on it and lined it hard. Bit Roberts dove and just missed it. A hard line drive to right field. One break the Yankees got, and this is what I was talking about, the outfield. It has retained some of the condensation of the snow, and the ball, once it hit, had a tough time getting through the wet field. And so the right fielder not only had to race in to pick it up, and the Yankees scored fairly easily and have somewhat blown it open at 7-3.
Now the stolen base by Bernie is large because that gave the Yankees the extra run. If he had been at first, he would have gone the third. So this way he scores. Here's Gerald Williams. The pitch is a curveball strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Gerald has had easily his best day of the season. He's 2 for 3, a double and a single. He flied to right, and he scored a run. Yankees are bundled up on the bench in winter coats. Long coats that the Giants used to wear, the 0-1. It's high, 1-1. They go right down to the ankles, and I guess they're down coats.
No, he's the coach in Baltimore now.
Oh, he didn't leave them here when he left?
No.
The 1-1 swung on and fouled off. Rolls into the Royals dugout.
He'll be wearing one tonight.
On deck, Derek Jeter. Yankees with 10 hits and 7 runs. The Royals 7 hits and 3 runs, and they've committed 3 miscues in the field. Valera, the 1-2. Swung on, popped up, left side of the infield. David Howard is there, looking up into the snow, and he puts it away for the final out of the inning, but not before the Yankees get 3 big insurance runs. Yankees 7, the Royals 3.
I'm lucky. Let me help you with that. I get to do something I love. It has nothing to do with touchdowns or titles. Everybody bring it in. I get to play a part in the life of someone just starting out. How many of you think homework is just as important as teamwork? I help keep kids in school. Good. And that's the name of the game. My name is LaDainian Thomason. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United.
Mike Francesa takes his hard-hitting sports talk to overtime, now 6 days a week on Yes.
Come on, let's go. Crank it up, baby. Let's go.
Weekdays at 1, Mike packs a punch.
His feet are tapping. His hands are moving. He's bop, 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 bop.
Then get game day analysis and pigskin picks on Football Sunday.
Right now, I think he played a hot hand. I think the Jets win today. They have no defense. They got to win the game on offense.
During the week and now on Sundays, Francesa fires up the fans.
1, 2, 3, boom.
Right here on Yes.
The home opener on ice, Yankees Capades right here in the Bronx. Howe will try to work through the 8th. Maybe they'll turn it over to Wetland in the 9th. For the Royals here in the 8th, it'll be Goodwin, Vitiello, and Hamelin. And now as I go get hot chocolate, I'll turn it over to John Sterling for the play-by-play.
Howe deals, and the pitch is a strike on the outside corner.
Can I go?
You know, when I went out last time, I saw our buddy Don Burke of the Newark Star-Ledger. He said, aren't you supposed to do the 4th quarter? The 0-1 is dribbled in front of the plate. Girardi pounces on it, fires in time, and there is one away. It's a fair ball, I believe.
Darryl Cousins, I think, got hit when Joe Girardi tossed away to Mask. He got hit on the left hand. He's shaking it. By the way, Bernie Williams has put a ski mask on in center field. So Bernie, who grew up in Puerto Rico, not quite used to these type of temperatures. And I think that's what happened. He tossed away the mask right onto his left hand. And can you imagine how numb your hands are anyway? So that's not making it any better for Darryl Cousins. He doesn't need to put that icing agent on, ethyl chloride, who I think lived underneath the Ricardos.
Ethylene chloride, of course. Didn't know you knew that. The pitch to Vitiello is high outside, 1-0. Eddie Layton, by the way, has run through his Christmas repertoire. Let it snow, and Santa Claus is coming to town, and Winter Wonderland and all. The 1-0 is high outside, 2-0. 3-7-3 for KC. 7-10-0 for the Yanks. To play errorless ball in this is absolutely amazing. Andy Pettit will win it if the Yankees hold on. They are 5 outs away. Pitch. There's strike, a fastball to Vitiello. Andy 6 1/3, 3 runs, 6 hits, 6 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Howe pitches off the stretch, and the 2-1 is a fastball low, and the count 3-1. Bob Hamelin on deck. He's a lefty hitter, Vitiello a right-hand hitter, and Joe 0 for 3 on the day. Howe's 3-1, fouled away. Fastball in on the hands. Couple of finals for you. In Toronto, the Blue Jays and Pat Henkin have blanked California 5-0. And up in Fenway, the Red Sox defeated Minnesota by the score of 9-1. And Flash Gordon went all the way in that game. Pitch, fouled away, hit hard outside first. I'll give you all the details on the postgame scoreboard. They go to the 8th inning in Detroit. Boy, Brian, the mind boggles at how cold it is in Detroit. Whoa. Who knows? Maybe they have a nice day. It is Detroit 10 and Seattle 8 at the end of 7. Pitch, cut on and missed. Struck him out. Struck him out swinging. And for Howe, he picks up his second strikeout. Howe has come on, retired 4 in a row.
Bob Hamelin.
As Mike indicated, John Wetland will probably finish it. And he is warming in the Yankee bullpen. Right now at 7-3, it is not a save situation, but again, Wetland has pitched just 1 inning. The Yankees got to get him into a game, and they have a day off tomorrow, so he'll pitch. Hamlin takes a fastball inside, 1-0. White Sox and Texas tied at 2 at Comiskey at the end of 5.5. Milwaukee beaten up on Oakland. Brewers lead 8-0 into Ford County Stadium. That pitch outside, 2-0. And Cleveland at Baltimore tonight. Jack McDowell and David Wells. It'll be a 2-0 to Hamlin. Howe deals, and right through there for a strike, and the count 2-1. Hamlin is 1 for 3 today. In the National League, everything is at night. The Mets are in Cincinnati, San Francisco, and Houston, Atlanta, and Los Angeles, Florida, and San Diego. 4 games scheduled in the National. Pitch is down low. The count 2-1. Jason Isringhausen will pitch for the Mets against lefty John Smiley. It is bitter winter weather at the stadium as Howe deals 3-1. A broken bat, slow ground ball to first. It stays fair. Tino Field steps on the bag, and Howe does a great job. 3 up and 3 down in the 8th. And now at the end of 7.5 innings of play, the Yankees 7 and the Royals 3.
The free agent market is open for business, and teams are getting ready to spend some cash. This week on an all-new Yankees Hot Stove, big names are still on the board, and Bob and the crew will dig through the latest rumors. Plus, get a preview of the winter meetings. Yankees Hot Stove, Thursday at 6:30, only on Yes.
The Northeast is snowed in. Let me see.
Something wrong, dear?
Not even reindeer could fly through that. Oh, yeah?
We need the world's best delivery specialist.
Mason here. WB Mason.
From the files of W.B. Mason.
Over
and out.
Our mission was clear, covering Masonville for Santa. A little magic, a lot of hustle, and good old Mason Uplift got us off the ground. dust-ups, tight scrapes, and a runaway truck, our mission saved the day.
A stapler and pencils! Everything go well, dear?
Yes, a reindeer's missing. Where could he be?
Ho, 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 for W.B. Mason.
The Ohio State University. The University of Texas Southern University. California, Berkeley. Old Dominion University. Harvard University.
The University of Virginia.
Texas A&M. Norfolk State University. University. Arizona State. Pennsylvania State University.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup right here on Yes.
Jeter has walked, popped up, and singled. The 1-1 is low. I think if there's been one consistent bright light about the beginning of this year, the fact that you forget that Derek Jeter is now a rookie. The pitch fouled off. In other words, how is he going to play? Is he going to hit okay? Is he going to field okay? Is he going to make... Now Derek Jeter's the shortstop. It happened very quickly, didn't it? Now he's the shortstop, and like everyone else, from Ty Cobb on down, he's going to go into a slump. But he's a good player, and if you think he's good now, if you say, well, he's a pretty good player, imagine what he'll be in 2 years when he's an old man at 23. The 2-2. Strike three, outside corner. Jeter caught looking, and there is one away.
I think it's simply the way he carries himself. He doesn't seem like a rookie. He doesn't get rattled. I remember one thing that Buck Showalter once said when he first got to know Jeter. He said, you can really tell a lot about this kid's parents. He said, They must be great people. He said, because you could see the way he was brought up. He was brought up perfectly. He said, this is the type of guy you'd want as a son.
Wade Boggs takes the strike. A fastball inside corner from Valera. Wetland will pitch the ninth. Valera's 0-1 is inside. And the count 1-1. There's a lefty up in the Kansas City bullpen.
That's Jason Hakami.
Here's the 1-1. Boggs swings and fouls it away. And the count 1-2. Hakami is very much of an off-speed pitcher, not the kind you normally associate with a relief pitcher.
Now they get their closer, Jeff Montgomery, up.
Boggs 1 for 4 on the day. The 1-2 just missed outside. And the count 2-2. Well, Mike, when you were out for a moment getting the hot chocolate, I mentioned that Wetland is going to pitch because he has to get work. And the Yanks have an off day tomorrow anyway. The 2-2 is a hit, a ground ball to short. Fielded by Howard. He slings it over to first, and they're a two-way. And Wetland has pitched, I think, just one inning. So they'll bring John in to get a day's work, an inning's work. It's not a save situation. And then he'll have a day off tomorrow anyway. Here's Joe Girardi, who is 1 for 4. He lined a double last inning, and that was the catalyst for the Yankee rally, which scored 3 runs. He takes low outside, 1-0. Girardi, a right-hand hitter. Valera deal, swung on and bounced to short. Howard fields, throws off balance low, and it's dropped by Hamelin. We'll see if Kansas City gets their 4th error or not. A tough play. It was a slow ground ball that went past the third baseman. Really, is a third baseman's play. Howard fielded, slung it off balance low, and Hamelin couldn't come up with it.
Tell you what, Girardi really has good speed for a catcher, and that's why Howard didn't have time to plant, set, and throw. He had to throw off balance across the body. He bounced it in the dirt on the home plate side of first base, and Hamelin tried to scoop it up, and they will give an E6. That is error number 4. Now Boone is out on the mound again, and is he going to bring in another pitcher? Yes, he is. This is New York Yankees baseball.
Left-hander Jason Hakami pitches to Paul O'Neill and deals a strike at the knees. Girardi at first. There are 2 out, bottom of the 8th. The Yankees have a 7-3 lead. Hakami out of the Mets organization.
I thought Tony La Russa had become the manager of the Cards.
Boone's playing this like the 7th of the World Series. The pitch is low, and that's the way the weather will be in November. By the way, it was 34 degrees at game time in Detroit, and yes, it is snowing at Tiger Stadium. You know, we're kidding around about it because it's, you know, better to laugh, I guess, than cry. Pitch and breaking ball low. But Mike, if they're going to start the season this early, they're really going to have to go to the domes and the warm weather ballparks for a couple of weeks. And if you say, well, it's going to be tough on teams like the Yanks, well, they're getting paid. That's the price of fame. They'll make the games up later at home. The 2-1 is swung on and popped up to shallow center. Out goes Bip Roberts calling. He makes the catch, and that'll do it. For the Yanks, no runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left to the end of 8 innings of play. It is 7-3 Yanks.
Attention football fanatics. Each Sunday on Yes, get your game day started early with a new edition of Football Sunday with Mike Francesa. Join Mike every week for his Pro Football Preview Show featuring a blitz of predictions, opinions, and callers as the countdown to kickoff begins. Football Sunday with Mike Francesa, Sunday mornings at 9, right here on Yes.
My new computer started out fast, really fast, but now it's only kind of fast.
Hold on, let me check my email. It's not loading. Let me try this again.
This game should be a lot faster. Mom, this internet connection is so slow.
I love my computer. I don't know what happened. It's just not as fast as it used to be.
If your computer doesn't run like it's supposed to, if your internet connection is unreliable, even on a so-called fast connection, even if your brand new computer isn't as fast as it ought to be, you might not have any real problem at all. Log on to FinallyFast.com. Take the free performance test to find out how to make your computer run fast the way it's supposed to. FinallyFast.com free performance test will immediately diagnose any hidden problems and show you how to get more speed on any computer. Plus, FinallyFast.com provides you the software you need to get your computer up to peak performance. Log on to FinallyFast.com and learn how to optimize your internet connection for faster speeds by automatically changing the settings that most people don't even know exist. Log on to FinallyFast.com and learn how to make your computer run like new by getting rid of all the nasty junk files, spyware, adware, and registry errors that make even the best computers freeze and crash. Find out why Ascentive, the company behind this amazing free performance scan, has been featured in Newsweek, Forbes, and the Wall Street Journal. If you're thinking of buying a new computer or upgrading your RAM, don't. You could save hundreds, even thousands of dollars by taking the Finally Fast performance test first.
It's working great now. I'll send you the address in an email. FinallyFast.com. Send.
Dude, it's finally fast. FinallyFast.com.
Take the free performance test at www.finallyfast.com. Get the software you need to get your computer running at peak performance and your internet connection speedy, even while watching video. FinallyFast.com makes everything faster, even on a brand new computer.
I'm booted up. What's that URL I should look at? FinallyFast.com. Hey, my computer's fast. Finally. FinallyFast.com.
John Wetland, who has pitched just 1 inning, comes in. And even though it's not a save situation, it's good for Wetland to pitch this inning. And then tomorrow is off anyway. They need him Thursday. He'll be ready. The pitch to Mike McFarland is up high, 1-0. So Wetland comes on. The Yankees with a 7-3 lead in the ninth. 3-7-4 for the Royals. 7-10-0. That's a testimony to the Yankee defense. Fastball crackles high. And play errorless ball in this is amazing.
Hey, John, you know, we really should give some credit to Steve Howe. He came in and did a heck of a job, and he really saved Andy Pettit's win.
5 in a row. The 2-0. People are, I mean, I think, I hear phone calls, etc. Expectations are so silly. Howe, in the first time he pitches here, retired 2. Yeah, in Texas, he gave up a leadoff. A ground ball that just went to the glove side of Tino Martinez. I went to the, away from the glove side. The pitch is a strike. That runner was advanced. They walked a guy to put 2 on to get to a left-hand hitter. He did make a bad pitch. He threw a fastball to Newsom that had the middle of the plate, and Newsom poked it to left for a hit. I mean, the 3-1. There's a strike. I mean, I'm sorry that happens. Then he retired 5 in a row today, so he's really done a pretty good job.
Very few pitchers or relief pitchers are perfect all the time, and the Yankees need a lefty out of the bullpen. He did a great job today.
The 3-2 swung on and popped up to second. Duncan is there looking through the snow, and there's one away. Well, Mike goes down, as you know, after the game, and I'll do the post-game alone. And I guess you've got to go ask a lot of the players with one away, here's Johnny Damon. Takes a fastball high. What it was like to play in this terrible weather, because the Yankees really played a pretty good game.
They have played, as you mentioned, an error-free game and haven't made many base running mistakes. That one by Duncan when he tried to stretch.
The 1-0. There's a strike on the outside. The count 1-1.
But it has been a fairly crisp ball game for the Yankees, and the one thing that has to stand out for them is the job that Andy Pettitte did. Again, he did a great job, and he's about to go 2-0, a 23-year-old lefty.
I mentioned something to Joe on the manager show. Pitch is up high and goes back to the screen. You remember how he finished last year, approximately 6 out of 7. Then he won in the playoffs. How he pitched in spring training and how he has begun. Are you starting to feel that this guy is, has the ability and the poise and all in his second year to maybe win 15, 16 games or so?
I think he can win 20 games. I think this is not going to be a middle-of-the-rotation starter. This is going to be a star in the big leagues one day. Barring injury, again, you never can predict that.
You can't predict.
But I think if he stays healthy with his poise and his stuff, he's going to be a great pitcher, not a good pitcher.
The 2-1 fouled away. See, the way I look at the Yankees, they're going to score some runs, and not a great hitting team. They're not as good as Baltimore and Boston, but they're a pretty good hitting team. When Raines comes back, they're going to score some runs, and then that will help the bench when the Duncans and the Deion James are not playing, when they're coming off the bench the way they're supposed to. But what will make the Yankees a very strong team, as Wetland deals 2-2, struck him out swinging, and they're a two-way, is the fact that they are going to have Cone and Key, and now we're feeling that Andy Pettitte's going to be, he's not going to be that kind of pitcher right now. But if you have 3 pitchers who are going to be clear-cut winners, you're all right.
And then, they feel that, Kenny Rogers should be that sort of pitcher as well. Remember, he hasn't even seen the mound yet. He won't until April 23rd, unless he comes on in relief. The Yankees have a really good staff.
Yeah, they have a heck of a chance. They really do. Now 2-way, here's Keith Lockhart. And he takes a pitch low, 1-0. Lockhart, a left-hand hitter, walked when he came up as a pinch hitter. There are 2 outs and 0 on. Yankees an out away from the win. Pitch. There's a strike and the count 1-1.
That's the pitch he needs, John. That little tiny curveball just has a little bit of a bend to it, and it gets the batter off stride, and it makes that straight fastball seem that much faster.
It'll be a 1-1. Wetland deals. Breaking ball inside. The count 2-1. The Yankees lead 7-3. I am amazed that they finished this game. But they started it, so I guess they figured they'd finish it. The field was okay. The 2-1. Hit on the ground a second. It should be over. Duncan Fields flips in time. Ball game over. And the Yankees win on opening day.
After the game, Paul O'Neill said he knew it was going to be a weird season when he saw Santa Claus in the front row on opening day. After this short break, I'll share some closing thoughts on that bizarre opener and the remarkable year that followed. The one person in Yankee Stadium who didn't seem bothered by the bitter cold and swirling snow was home plate umpire Darrell Cousins. Even though he was the only person on the field wearing short sleeves, Cousins said he didn't feel the cold at all by the second inning. The near-capacity crowd wasn't so lucky. They couldn't feel their toes by the second inning, but at least they came away with the win, the first of many exciting victories in Yankee Stadium that year. The cast of new characters quickly gelled with the rest of the team under Torre. Several months after they opened in a snowstorm, the Yankees found themselves playing in the nippy weather of late October in the World Series. And just like they did back in April, the Yankees found a way to win, capturing the 23rd championship in team history. We certainly hope you enjoyed this edition of Yankee Classics. Thanks for watching. I'm John Sterling.